Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to Season 4 of our subscriber game tournament as we continue here in Round 1. Now moving on to Group D, in our first matchup we have Storm's End in the green versus SA Wang in the red. And both of these are returning players, so we're expecting some really interesting compositions. Starting with Storm's End, we have a comp led by Wu Tugu, Huang Shao, and Gong Du. I believe this is Gong Du's first appearance in the tournament so far. And we have a full infantry comp with a few cavalry. I think those are virtuous noblemen with a very weird unit count of 21. They have high health per unit, but not really high damage. And they're supplemented with the Fervent Defender on Gongdu, along with a bunch of other Yellow Turban units, typically high damage or unbreakable, boosted by the Chanter, a couple of Javelin Spear Guard on Wutugu. So overall, infantry heavy for the most part. We'll see how it plays. And against it is SA Wang, with generals led by Huang Fusong, Lu Bu also making his first appearance in the tournament, which is kind of rare to be happening in Group D. And then we have Liu Chong. For units, we have a full suite of Defender of Empire, Unbreakable Spear Guards, and Xiliang Cav on Lu Bu. So plenty of targets for those cavalry, and the infantry should hold pretty nicely, along with very powerful active abilities on all three general. So we'll see how this matchup plays out on the battlefield. And as we load into battle here, we can see that both sides has deployed pretty aggressively. We have Storm's End pulling all his unit forward into this forest area in front of his deployment zone. And for Wang Ping, we have his army split up a little bit. We have a circle of defensive Defender of the Empire sitting in the back, with two generals that have active range abilities, and then Lu Bu is leading a group of the cavalry off to the side while the other cavalry are hiding in the forest to the left here. Meanwhile, we have every single unit grouped up together for Storm's End, and he actually also activated Surprise Attack right away, which gives them stock, but obviously the enemy's going to be able to get a glimpse of them before that goes off. But he's trying to advance in silence and kind of in secret for the first 60 seconds of the game. There are a lot of AoE buffs from Sacred Chant of the Chanter, one with Heaven with Huang Shao, but this is a range boost and he actually doesn't really have any range unit, so that's not really going to be relevant. But Huang Shao's main purpose is to get that invisibility off. We see the Wu backing off. Splitting off your army early on is always very risky. So I think this is going to be an active ability usage, but there are no targets yet. They can't see them, so I don't know what he would do. Guess he would just back off into the cavalry. They shouldn't really be too much of a threat with the cavalry in place. They're giving away their position, but maybe too early to commit. Now, having everything kind of hidden for the first 60 seconds is definitely very useful to scare off units, as he has tracked through half of the forest, but there's really no range threat. The only thing they need to be careful of is not getting rushed by the cavalry, as most of these units are actually vulnerable to cavalry. There are only a few spear units in this group. There's no general threat at this set. Really, they can't do too much to Unbreakable Infantry. No one has any really good AoE ability. So we're sending one cavalry in. Yeah, there's not really a good place to commit. I mean, these units are now visible. They should actually be charged potentially as something like the Huanglao Paragon. Pretty high offensive power unit. They're trying to get a good hail of arrow. That's also good. These are just backups to protect the general in case they get chased. But he's getting a little bit too scared for no reason. Just fire off a shot into this crowd right here. It's perfect. Ooh. Gonna get a little fancy with the active abilities. They psyching each other off. He canceled it. So this is a way to kind of get them to play their 100% range block chance ability and then not use your ability. Now the cavalry can definitely come after this now. Yes, they're coming in. Lu Bu is a very powerful general. He should be in the fight. Why is he backing away? Too many units being thrown in here. The Righteous Nobleman. Okay, so a couple reserve coming in. Lu Bu using his ability to freeze the units in place, but he didn't freeze the infantry, which... yeah, I don't know if that was such a great idea. It only basically froze the enemy cavalry, and that timing is kind of weird. Hongfu should use his ability now, but all the cavalry's kind of pulled together here. Javelin's hurting Lu Bu really. Ooh, decent damage. Lu Bu lost about 3k health. It was a really mistimed use of the Dragon's Gaze because it doesn't immobilize generals, it immobilizes units. So he basically immobilized 2 cavalry. His cavalry's overcommitted, they need to be cycle charging. The infantry is coming in to help, that's good. Unbreakable for now. A little bit of an overlap. You can't really take full advantage of another set of melee evasion boost there. And obviously on the cavalry it's really wasted. They were already in trouble. Oh, these javelins doing such good damage against the generals. Where is the Hail of Arrow? Such clump of infantry, just go here and shoot them. Yeah, those cavalry were lost. Lu Bu's coming in to maybe do a slam ability in the middle here. Oh, he's so indecisive with this. He went in, didn't do it, and then backed off and lost more health. Hail of Arrow time. There we go. Oh, well, invisibility at this point doesn't really help. The target already went off. Okay, they formed a line here. I like the flanking attempts. There's a flanking attempt here, there's a flanking attempt here, there's a good line set up here. There's a good piercing shot that hit both for a little bit. I would just dismount the generals and fight. You have Lu Bu. Lu Bu's actually very strong. So I don't see Lu Bu slamming. I don't see Lu Bu using Dragon's Gaze well. Is he gonna do it? Come in here, do a Dragon's Gaze. He might get dismounted. There's just so many infantry. Okay, there we go. That's a good Dragon's Gaze. Now, can we do a slam before he loses even more health? There we go. Now get out. And then it's their time to use their abilities. Since they're unbreakable, I wouldn't overcommit the line here. I would just put one behind to make sure they don't get flanked, and then another one can shore up this flank here. But maybe leave it open so there's an angle to shoot this. Ooh, Lu Bu's gonna get charged by these virtuous noblemen. They're running away? They should just try to trade here. Because there's no outrunning them. Okay, trying to dismount and get too close. He's trying to line up too perfect of a shot. He's gonna get tangled up and start meleeing. Using Unbreakable on an Unbreakable unit. Okay, it's a very good shot, but very far from his horse now. They're trying to pick off the cavalry, which they easily can. They have all dismounted to take better use of their abilities. Start shooting them. Okay, there's a decent mass route, and there's a couple Unbreakable unit in here. They have to just trade the... Ooh, run, 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 run. No, no, this is not the time. They're dismounted. They're going to come after you. This is not time to use the ability. He's going to die. Lu Bu's going to die right here. Yep, instantly. I feel like Lu Bu didn't get a lot of good value there. Very expensive general. Now that they're dismounted, maybe Liu Chong can just shoot his ability instead of... I think they're hotkeyed together. So I think he was trying to run away with Hongfu Song, but then he got dragged out because there's no reason why he needed to move. He had a good position. I mean, now it's just Unbreakable unit versus Unbreakable unit for the most part. I would favor Yellow Sky Herald a little bit more. They are melee cavalry and they're getting support from their generals. Too much wasted movement. Since they're dismounted, I mean, they could be chasing off some of these units that don't bounce back. He could be sniping from pretty far away. There's a good number of units that they could just actually just wear them down. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what he needs to be doing. Shoot Wu Tu Gu down. Yeah, there we go. Wait for cooldowns. Just charge this. He's moving. He's not braced. Charge it. charge these before they bounce back. They still have javelins. Oh, they might hurt if you actually get microed. Okay, giving himself range. Ooh. Okay, pretty interesting usage because there's range protection and then he used it to hit them. At this point, maybe it's better to use on the generals since these will lose in the trade eventually, but the general health is a little bit scary. So instead of trying to kill a few unit, risking killing maybe a couple friendlies if they're not turned to the front. And there's still this guy. I think he's invisible because he's in the forest. They can't see him. Why charge in? Okay, do active ability and then what? And then die instantly because you're surrounded by 3 generals? Yeah, he dies. I mean, same thing with Lu Bu. And in this case, it makes even less sense. At least Lu Bu's trying to get in there to use the AoE ability. What is Neutral trying to do in there? Okay, he's pulling out his bow. I mean... Oh, don't get close. I don't understand this movement at all. It's like, I go, I can't do anything, I back off, but then I go again, can't do anything, I back off. Oh, I mean, this just does not look good. Why stop? Okay, he pulled off the active ability, but not really gonna swing the fight. The problems are not the units, the problem are the generals. The other problem is Hopeful Zone is not unbreakable, so the minute his units die, he's gonna lose to army loss. And javelins coming, and those hurt. So I'm assuming he's pulling out of Hail of Arrows, but even then, clearly he has a bow. He has Hail of Arrows. He shot units again. Went that way. I mean, honestly, none of the general were unbreakable as well. If he just did a little bit more damage to them, maybe force a route. Just go far. Go here. They still have to chase you, and you can shoot them with a bow. Don't stop. They're trying to remount, but ooh, very smart. Spacing one to chase, and the other two to. Ooh, it's not a good trade. Getting hit with a mace versus getting shot with one arrow. Yeah, if they split up, charge at Utugu. Please be charging at Utugu. Good targeting. A little bit late, didn't get him before the dismount. Oh, don't run. It's unlucky on that hit. Because he also charged, didn't get a hit, just got a horse bump, and he got a hit, and we got the route. Super unfortunate for SA Wang Ping here. Let's take a look at the actual kills. Now, because there's unbreakable units on both sides, the kill count's going to be a little bit inflated, but to be honest, Lu Bu should have done so much more. The first Dragon Gaze was terrible. It caught 2 cavalry units that already engaged with his own cavalry unit, so that was very pointless. The counter charge by the cavalry into the general, I think the problem is still charging way too many units. Charging 1 or 2 cavalry achieves pretty much the same damage because you can't surround 3 generals with, 90 horses. So keeping a few more in reserve to fight the units would have been a lot better. They had a really good combo. If the cavalry was there to chase after the general, Lu Bu goes behind to use Dragon's Gates on the units, and then Huang Fusong sprays the unit that are immobilized and weakened by Dragon's Gaze with his Hail of Arrows. That would have been a very massive trade. Everything else actually played pretty evenly, just misuse of generals, Lu Bu going back in when they were clearly dismounted, clearly chasing after him, just getting wiped. He's the only sort of unbreakable general aside from Liu Chong, but Liu Chong also kind of did the same thing. Both of them had good abilities that were infinite usage. They just need to be spaced out a little bit more, find their openings a little bit more. If they focus down the 3 generals and the rest of the composition is just those units versus Liu Chong, who can kite forever with show of force against anything that's not a cavalry, and Lu Bu, who has Dragon's Gate to stop you from chasing him and slam ability to kill a lot of you at one time, they would have easily won the battle. So all the Hail of Arrow, all the show of force, the cavalry commit should have been all thrown at the general, even the units. If the Defender of Empire was going to all die anyways, they should have been doing their damage against those 3 dismounted generals instead of fighting and trading with those Yellow Sky Heralds. That way, they could maybe swing things back with Liu Chong and Lu Bu at a certain point. After it was just Huang Fusong, the morale was going to be a huge issue, because that's your one general that's not unbreakable. And in that sense, Storm's End did a very good job of targeting the right general, even though I don't think it was targeting. It was more S.A. Wang Ping walked the general into the crowd to get killed in both scenarios, to lose both of his unbreakable generals. So not sure if it was purpose targeting or just opportunity came to him. Spacing out the generals to remount was very smart to finally win the battle at the end. Didn't send all 3 back to create that distance, although that would eventually win the game because he was just so much ahead with those 3 generals. Spacing them out just basically forced Huang Fusong to commit back for the easy kill. So that's our first match in Group D. Very exciting stuff. Eager to see the rest of the group, and we'll see you guys then. Bye!